Hey y'all, welcome back. You are here for another episode. It's the Ashley Joe Show. In this episode, it's a special episode. I'm not even going to talk about Halloween in my sexy bee costume. But if you want to see that, make sure you look at my Instagram at the Ashley Joe Show. But seriously, this episode is all about voting and your vote. Isn't that cute? I'm all patriotic. This episode, I want to just discuss different things about voting and why my people, I feel like, why you don't see so many of us voting, and the issue I have with certain things. But before I even get into that heavy topic, let's get into this heavy drink. That's a heavy topic anytime you talk about the politics. Because we got 24 hours and I feel like the world's going to change. I'm just playing. It's really not going to change. But with everything that's going on, I don't know. It makes you feel that way. But, of course, I have me a heavy Tito's vodka. But look, I actually decided to put it with the cherry 7-Up because the 7-Up made the red. And I chose the raspberries and the blueberries because it's patriotic. I mean, we are living in America, aren't we? Aren't we all equal? That's going to get into my topic. But hey, I watched the episode of Blackish. I don't know if y'all watch Blackish because after that Netflix series, I forgot what it's called. But after that Netflix series, I was a little shaky about certain things. But Blackish, that show never disappoints. I will admit that because it always keeps talks about relevant topics that's going on right now. So this past episode, very relevant. What's going on right now? Voting and the black vote, and not just the black vote, all of our votes, and really if our vote counts, or if the difference between what state you live in to how much your vote counts. How about that? Because you know how some states with the electoral college and those electoral votes, some states get more votes than smaller states and stuff like that. So that does actually affect your vote too. From watching that show, I was like watching Blackish in my living room, but I felt like I was in college or something, having a serious history lesson at that moment. It really surprised me, and it really made me think think a little bit about certain things when it did come to the vote. For example, they definitely discussed that electoral college because I always wondered, how did Trump become president? Or not even just Trump. How did Bush become president? How did Obama become president? Like, how do they pick the people that run for president? And it was really, I know I learned this before because I went to a great high school and an even better college, Bulldog baby, going to a HBCU. Of course, I did learn this, but relearning it again, knowing more, being more educated, because of course the world, as you get older, you learn more. So it made me look at it different, knowing how the electoral college, those group of people, is actually consists of people, over 500 people. They get to pick who gets to run for president. They pick that candidate of who gets to run. So knowing that, I'm like, okay, that's cool. So who are those people? We don't even get to know who those people are. So that's the part that kind of gets me like, why can't we know who those people are? They're important. They picking who is a candidate to run for president. We get to know, as the citizens of the United States, I think we deserve to know who those group of people are. But besides that, guys, also watching that episode of Blackish and taking it back to how we even got to vote for president and things of that nature. They first decided that only white men or people that own property could even vote for president. And that was at the time when they decided that we were all equal. That doesn't really sound right to me. So it just seems like, I feel like I understand why a lot of people really don't care about voting. A lot of black people don't care as much as we should. Because it was it seems like it was a system that was set up to fail us from the beginning. Sorry to say. It just seems that way. But I do like how now we're making a stance. We're making an effort, and we're making our voices heard in other ways than voting. We're running for offices. You see us in small government, government offices and things of that nature. And I think we definitely need to encourage our youth to get into politics more Maybe that's a change that we could see happen. If more of the youth go into politics, they can put in place policies and help govern over certain laws, that are trying to be implemented. That's the way that we can change things, is looking into our future, the young people, encouraging them to get into different offices and stuff. And also, I really hate how the presidential election, because I'm definitely not here this episode to just talk about vote for this president or vote for that president. I just hate how that's the only thing that's emphasized when it comes to politics. I wish they focus zone, like, how you see all these different ads that Bush and Trump are doing, all these different shots are taking at each other like they're so catty batty. I wish they focused in on the local elections, because that's where it matters for us. For us, that's where it matters, those local elections. Because you wonder how in Nevada, coming from Vegas and seeing all those dispensaries, and then coming down here to Alabama and seeing all those prisons with people who are in there for marijuana. The only way to change that is through local elections, And I think that needs to be emphasized more, for us to focus in on who we're voting for our district attorneys, who's our mayors and governors. That's what we need to focus in on. That's when our vote counts. That's when our vote matters. Now, vote for president, that's important, but after watching Blackish, I just don't know if that's the biggest picture. There are other parts to this, to politics that we need to focus in on. Because trust me, it's not for us, but we can make it for us. That's going to be my motto. Even though I know it's not for my people. I know it's not for us, but we can make it for us by going out there and voting, by showing respect to our ancestors. And we owe them that to vote. Even if I feel like if I go and vote tomorrow because I definitely did do my absentee vote. I did vote. But like I'm saying, even though I did vote, whoever I voted for as president is not going to make a huge difference. What will make the biggest difference, in my opinion, like I said, are the people we put into office locally in your different city that you're in. That's what needs to be talked about, Just my opinion. But that episode was good, though, y'all. Blackish really did their thing with that episode. So go watch that with your family. And make sure you go and vote, because that's all we got. That's our voice. That's what they tell us. I believe it. I believe it, though. So I'm going to make sure I do my job in spreading the word and talk about the importance of voting. And I'm going to make sure, being an educator, that I encourage my students and encourage my nieces and nephews to run for government offices and get into politics, get in the nitty gritty and make different laws. Set these brothers in Alabama free from that reefer. I'm not trying to be funny, but that's wrong. They're in jail for weed, and they in Cali rich off weed. Those are the things that bother me about politics. But we won't go there. I won't get too deep. We're going to talk about that. But this episode, I just want to talk about you voting. All right? This was a special episode about your vote and about my opinion on voting. Because it's the Ashley Joe Show. And I just wanted to tell you what I think about this whole voting.